Hey everyone, this is Gleb Bakhmutov with another example of using cypress-recurse. In this example, I will use cypress-recurse to do a visual testing of a canvas. I've done canvas testing before, but in this example, I'm using a chart library to draw a bar chart. This is how it looks. This library draws the bar charts, but it also allows you to add datasets and remove datasets. Notice the smooth animations. Looks very nice. Now I want to confirm that this bar chart looks the same. So what I have done was, in my test, load the bar chart and then save it under bar chart PNG file. So this is the initial semi-random example, meaning it will generate randomly, but from the same seed. So every time I reload the page, it draws this chart. After this chart, we add a dataset, and we again save it as bar chart added dataset, which looks like this. Notice there are two datasets for each bar. Then I add the third set, and I remove two of them, leaving just the third dataset. It removes the first and second. Nice. In my test, I confirm that when I show the chart, it looks the same as before. Now notice when I run the test that there is animation. And notice how the commands have pauses. Before we click add dataset and before we click remove dataset, we're actually comparing the canvas to the previously saved canvas. And we actually compare it multiple times. For example, if I put pause right here, after comparing the bar chart initially, and I put log to true, we can see the logic inside the comparison. We actually retry multiple times, downloading the PNG and comparing it to the good image until the animation finishes and the images match. If I didn't have this, if I didn't have retries, then what I could do, and what I usually recommend, is to disable the duration of animation. In this chart.js example, I have my animation duration set as a parameter. By default, it's 1 second. What I could have done to make it work in my test was if window Cypress is set, then set it to 0, otherwise 1 second. If I reload this test, notice how all my animations are gone. But this is not what we want to test, right? Yes, this passes very quickly because the bar chart immediately goes to the next step, but we are losing part of animation, right? Part of a library's charm. So instead, let's actually make animations longer, 3 seconds. And I'll remove the log false. Actually, no, let's leave it true. And again, let's stop it after the second comparison. Pause. Love my. So now we actually slow down the animations and notice our cypress-recurse saves more images, tries comparing them until they match. Let me finish by showing the logic for looks the same. It's coming from my utils. So looks the same, we're giving the file name that we want to read on a disk. And we want to recursively iterate over our canvas. And what we're trying to do is to run this function until the match is true, or it times out. So on every iteration, we're downloading the PNG into the file name, and then we run side task, which uses a pixel by pixel comparison on our operating system to compare the saved file name against the previously saved good image. It returns an object with a match property, and we just return the match, which recurse uses to decide if it should stop or not. And once we actually iterate successfully, we say the images look the same. So in our function, if I remove this, it keeps comparing images, saving, downloading again, comparing at each step of the way. And this is why we can actually use long animations, and our tests don't depend on the animation durations.